Hello, this is George Waddell's analysis of a football game for Practical Team Sport Assignment 2. This phase of play is a kickoff. This is used whenever a goal is scored, or at the beginning of a match, or at the beginning of a half. There will be a toss at the start. The person who wins will determine which side they get or who kicks off. In this case, it's Brazil who kicks off, and let's watch how they do.
Piece of England history tonight, the first time that two Centurions will have appeared together in the same England team. Cap number 101 for skipper Steven Gerrard, cap number 100 for Ashley Cole. And a reminder that for all their achievements at club level, both Champions League winners, it's the feats of men like Shilton Beckham.
As you can see here, before the game started, the England players and the Brazilian players are set up around the centre circle. The England players aren't allowed to be within the centre circle until the ball has been passed backwards.
Charlton more right in England shirts and then secure their places in the nation's hearts. We do have a love-hate relationship with our national football team. You've only got to sense the love going out of Paul Gascoigne this week to know how football fans feel about the players who do their country proud. So, England versus Brazil. It doesn't happen every year. It's happening twice this year.
At the start of that, the referee uses his whistle to signal the start of play. The referee will use his whistle throughout the game to communicate with the players to tell them when to stop play of game.
Knows about next year. Two teams with 2014 on their minds, but Andy, this is a night to savour in its own right. Did you ever play against Brazil? Do you know?
During this, Brazil have kicked off and now have possession of the ball. The possession of the ball can be lost whenever England make a tackle or Brazil make a mistake by kicking the ball out of play.
To have had the opportunity to
What the defender did then was a pass back to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper can't pick up the ball until the ball has been touched by... The only time the goalkeeper can pick up the ball from a pass back is if it has been off someone's head.
To have had a go playing against the Brazilian team. I think it's the ultimate challenge for any international footballer. Managed to play against some very good teams, but not this one. It's a special night. This is for the England players.
What Brazil are particularly good at is keeping possession of the ball. The more possession of the ball, the better. If you have possession of the ball, this means you can score goals.
Special night for everybody here. We all come here with a real genuine sense of anticipation and seeing something.
As you can see there, Brazil have lost possession of the ball by interception by England. This now gives England a chance to counter-attack against Brazil.
Quite special.
Gary Cahill alongside Chris Smalling here at the part of the England.
Here you can see England are playing it safe, but as Joe Hart waits too long, this defender will come in and close in on him.
International football together in the game that Stuart Pearce took charge of against Holland back in February. Gerrard to Walcott starting an England international friendly, the second.
As you can see there, the ball went on the line. In rugby, if the ball is on the line or any part of the body is on the line, this is deemed as out. For the ball to be out in football, the ball must cross the line completely. As you can see, as you saw back then, the ball didn't cross the line completely. This means that the ball is not out of play and is still available.
Time under Roy Hodgson, and the first one lasted about 10 minutes before he was injured, but broken up by Ramirez of Chelsea.
As you see there, the ball came off a England player. This means that it is Brazil's throw-in.
Could be a good run from Ramirez. We're used to seeing that. Chelsea shirt as he gets going and it's daylight in front of him. He's very, very difficult to stop with one hand.
As the ball is thrown in, the player must keep both feet on the floor and the ball must go behind his head and straight out. The The person throwing in the ball cannot throw to himself. It must touch another player before he gets the ball back. You cannot score from a throwing, although the ball can be thrown into the box and scored from another person.
Have to keep an eye on.
If the player throwing in the ball does not have both feet on the floor, then the ball will be turned over to England or the other team.
Not many out there tonight.
Gerard and Wilshere getting their act together immediately. They played only 13 minutes together for their country. Wilshere was taken late, but clever.
That tackle back there should have been a free kick, as it was a dangerous tackle and the player could have been seriously injured. I do not agree with this play because the referee should have played advantage for a bit longer and possibly gone back to the free kick.
And Rooney's there, and David Luiz has reminded the last time Brazil played at Wembley, they were back.
Under pressure, David Luiz, playing for Brazil, under pressure by Wayne Rooney, headed the ball out into touch behind the goal. This gives England a chance to have a chance at goal.
Target 32 seconds in the Olympic final against Mexico.
Good run, Jack Wilshere, nice and strong. Well played the referee for playing the advantage. Tom cleverly has a little look. He sees Rooney. Very close to finding him.
Wilshere is okay now, I've got to say. He was taken out by Dante, the Bayern Munich defender, making his Brazilian debut this evening.
As you can see, the ball is being taken from the favoured side of the player. The ball can be taken from either side of this semicircle in the corner. If you're left-footed, it would be preferred if the ball was here, as you can curl the ball into the box.
Gerrard with the corner. It's over the head of Rooney. So plus 3-9 in...
As the ball is coming straight off the corner into out of play, this means that it is Brazil's throw.
Dante's quite a bit bigger than Rooney.
As you can see here, this Brazilian player and this Brazilian player are currently offside. This Brazilian player is predominantly offside as he's going for the ball. The England player appeals and the linesman picks it up. This is good play this is good awareness by the England player and the linesman. If he hadn't picked this up, the Brazilian player would have been through on goal. Every time there's an offside, there's a free kick. This allows England to restart the game and gain possession and territory.
Such a good stop, that really is. He almost dives beyond the ball. To get up and keep that out from there is just...
This next phase of play, we'll be looking at a handball in the England penalty box, and then this will also lead to a penalty for Brazil and a chance to score.
Scheme for shirts. No flag here for Luis Fabiano. It looked touch and go. He ran out of ideas. Ronaldinho though. It was Oscar. Ronaldinho's cross charged down by Wilshere's given a penalty.
As you can see here, Wilshere gets his arm in the way when Ronaldinho is having a shot or a chance to cross in. This is lazy play by him, but at the same time it shouldn't have been a penalty, as his arm was in a natural position.
Trouble, maybe 3 metres. Jack Wilshere's arms were raised, and Pedro Proença, the Portuguese official, is just about at the top. Joe Hart gets rolled.
A penalty is when the ball is placed in the centre of the 18-yard box, which is 10 yards away from the centre of the top of the D. This allows one player to have a shot at goal. All the other players must remain behind the 18-yard line box. Apart from the goalkeeper can be in the box to save the goal.
The goalkeepers in the past. Good save! Another good save! Neymar! Sliding challenge comes in. England survive.
As you can see here, England are very lucky by Ronaldinho missing a very good penalty. Joe Hart did very well here to make two very good saves in continuous.
Tom Cleverley to the rescue.
Great work, Joe Hart. Does so well to make the initial save, and then when it comes back to Ronaldinho, look at how hard he's got to get up and work there to get a big hand on that. Tom Cleverley doing everything as well to deny Neymar. That's so difficult for a goalkeeper. That's what they work on day in, day out, to get back up on your feet and throw your arm in front of it.
So difficult, so brave to stick your hand there as one of the most famous.
Next here you'll see England score a very good goal from outside the box. This is due to bad marking by Brazil.
Stepping inside there and joining him, and people hitting him with his left foot. Scored plenty of times for Liverpool doing this, where he wanders in and then all of a sudden just decides to have a shot. It's a tough one, that one as well. It was just sat up a little bit, was trying to dip it.
Looking to assert themselves. Shot combining with Rooney. Christian Walcott! Good save by Julian Cesar. Rooney!
It was a very good goal by Rooney, as he wasn't too close to the goalkeeper and gave himself space and time to think about when to hit the ball.
England take the lead. Theo Walcott was denied. Wayne Rooney wasn't. England 1, Brazil 0. That doesn't sound too bad.
The offside rule in football is very simple. The defensive line for either team can push up as high as they want, but this also means that they are leaving a lot of space from behind for a through ball to be played. If the defensive line were to be quite high, and if the England defensive line were to be round about here, then this would mean that there would be a lot of space back here. If this Brazilian player was here, he would be offside. But if the player were to start here and to run as the ball is being played behind the defensive line, he is onside. You can't be offside in your own half, but you can be in the opposition half.
Dante's quite a bit bigger than Rooney.
As you can see there, this player was offside, and the defensive line is quite low back, which is okay. If he were to be in front of this player, and he were to be in front of this player, then this would mean that he would be onside and would give him a chance to run through and get the through ball from the header. But this is not the case, as he is offside and the ball goes out into touch. This means that as England's ball may regain possession. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. I hope you've learnt a lot about football. I know I have.